Hey guys, so this is going to be my first commentary over a time lapse of my own work, and I'm going to do my best to explain the process while we watch it together. So yeah, this is the rabbits. I made the rabbits using the skins from the Minecraft default resource pack, and I took apart the individual body parts and then made an animated rabbit. So I actually started recording my work after doing all of the main poses and setting up the scene, and so everything's already kind of laid out. I don't I start recording at the beginning after the like when I do the next episode. So this is just a for the first episode you kind of skip to the middle. But yeah, right now I'm just doing the in-betweens. So the main poses are already there. If you look down at the bottom, there's all the keyframes, and you just see like the little dots get more and more. Like that's me adding more frames to smooth out the animation. Shoot, I don't know what to say. There's a lot of stuff. It's just happening really fast. But it's all pretty much the same stuff. It's a lot of in betweens and main poses. So I think this part. Oh yeah, I had to animate the Minecraft cube jumping up and falling down independently. So this is the part where he drops the cube onto the ground. And so there's some physics there. Oh, that was my hour sheet, my hour spreadsheet. I switched over to Google Sheets, but at this point I was using Excel. Yeah, if you look down at the bottom, you can see that I have the layers set up like orange, green, blue, and yellow. That's how I just keep them on their own layers. Oh shoot, a lot of stuff happened. So these are the floating items, and each item gets their own layer, and I tried to make it as like, since there's so many different items that each need to do the exact same animation, which is floating up and down, I made one item floating, like for example the wood floating, and then I would call it, wood float, and then I would take the next one, I would duplicate that symbol and then just replace the graphic, so that way I wouldn't have to reanimate every single floating block. So yeah, let's see. I think each stick figure, it's kind of hard to like decide what to like animate first, but it's usually like a matter of cause and effect. If one thing is causing something else, then you would want to animate the cause first and then the effect. At this point, they're all just kind of. Oh yeah, I'm just animating each walk cycle individually. There's only so many like confused animations, like scratching your eyes, scratching your head, shrugging, looking at each other. I tried to cover them all. Oh, I always like make the background white, or hide the background when I'm doing the red stick figure because he's so like dark. And now they're just walking backwards. Usually walk cycles are pretty straightforward. You just take them when their legs are spread apart, and then duplicate that and match up the front leg with the back leg. Keep going with that. So here's another example of the blocks and kind of duplicating the animation. What's he doing now? Oh yeah. taking the blocks from the top from the hotbar. So the hotbar has its own little timeline that's custom for each episode, since they do different things with their timelines and different items. But basically the hotbar, if you double click it, there's a whole there's maybe 30 layers, one for each slot and one for each number, like 64 for example, like if there's a 64, or how many of the item is in there. So yeah, that's in the symbol for the hotbar. Okay, so all right, so here I'm making more floating items, making sure that they look like there's a lot of them by having them on different frames, so you can see a lot of them go up and down at different rates. Okay, so at this point I'm adding whooshes, I guess. What are they called? Smears. It's pretty easy, just to add a gradient, make one color with the alpha 0 and the other one is the same color as the stick figure. I think I started doing it with the blue one and then added it to the other ones later. I think I added to the yellow one. And then I have each item kind of suck into each stick figure. Doing the float animation for each one, making him just kind of summon the items from the hotbar and switch the item in his hand depending on what is selected on the hotbar. And then I add the smears like I talked about. I think I make a pencil stroke first to make the shape, and then I fill it in with the gradient later. Yep, a lot of hotbar animation, a lot of Minecraft graphics. So we're already at the part where, towards the end, where they're trying to test if Red is gonna go berserk again. And so all this is already set up, and I'm doing the diamond armor, which was a pain in Animation versus Minecraft. So I knew that I should do it for this episode though. But I actually came up with a better strategy for applying diamond armor compared to the last time I did it. So instead of doing the entire animation and then adding diamond armor onto each frame, I learned halfway through doing this that I could only put diamond armor on the main poses, before I even in between the stick figure. And that way it's a lot easier to in between a stick figure while they have armor. See, I'm doing it right now. So I just added the armor to the main poses. And when they have a slight ease in, you can just take the entire diamond armor stick figure and all and just shift it, and it's so much easier than adding diamond armor to the first frame and then adding diamond armor to the slightly shifted frame. So that worked out a lot better. Hopefully I'd never have to use diamond armor again, but you never know. Oh, if you saw that long stroke, that was my tablet glitching out. So yeah, this is him sort of going berserk. This is him. This is yellow when he gets stopped by orange. I think this is oh yeah, that was my tablet settings. My tablet had some issues during this episode. Yeah, so this is after they realize he's okay. Oh yeah, and this is me figuring out how to make a jungle tree. So this is the original plan was to have Blue blast him upwards with a jungle tree, instead of hitting him with the helmet. I didn't think about hitting him with the helmet until after I had someone watch, and then they were kind of confused. Like when I showed this to someone, they didn't really know if he was like what his motivation, like if he was happy or if he was sad or like, So this was the original plan, but then I switched it to him smashing him with his helmet, which is a lot more clear and a lot more funny. So, but still, it was the plan here for a while. This is when they're scared, like, yeah. Yep, there goes the jungle tree. So I guess I'm just adding more in-betweens here. Yeah, these are all just main poses, but then I add in-betweens. And yeah, it's hard to make the blue guy look hunched over when he's got this really straight armor on. That was me previewing the whole animation. Yeah. Okay, oh, this part is when I have him. Yeah, I make a blurry version of the arrow and turn that into like its own little symbol of like a arrow stream, and then I move that one symbol to point to each of the little slots. More in betweening. Oh, hotbar moving. There's a layer for each of their hotbars if you look down. Hotbar blue, hotbar green, orange. Oh yeah, this is the spawn eggs. I get it from online. Put them into Photoshop, turn them into their own little files. I used Photoshop to make them the right size. Okay, I think this is after I had someone watch it, and then I decided to make him just do that, just smack him. Oh, and then another thing that I edited after the fact was orange kind of it was kind of confusing whether he was looking for the Minecraft cube or if he was just accidentally finding it. My original intention was for him to accidentally find it, but then it became like confusing when people watched it. Like, is he looking for it, or because it looked like he was looking for it? So I made it more clear. But you'll see that. I think I'll do more of that later. So I'm making him build the different structures. Okay, now I'm in between again. Oh, okay, here I'm actually animating the start menu opening, and Windows is, it's fancy, so it all of the little squares, they come up at different rates, and so it had to be pretty complex animation. Okay, and then here's where I make them all go up to 64. Like whenever he touches the hotbar, I want the number 64 to show up, so it's clear that he's getting a lot of them. Okay, so here's the part where I wanted the bunnies to turn, and that's it wasn't too complicated, but it's a lot of layers. Okay, so I'm watching it. Probably saw something else I needed to edit. Yeah, and if you look, you can kind of tell that I'm like adding more time. No, you can't really tell, but like usually I start out really slow, like fast, and then add time to it. Also, I totally missed it, but if you saw that notepad, I was like adding like notes as I watched it, things I need to edit. So here I am doing it again. I'm like watching it as it's encoding and then adding more like things that I need to fix. and then going through all of those and then fixing them. So here's the part where I am adding sound effects. And I have like a stockpile of sound effects that I used for all my previous animations, so I usually just use those. But usually something comes up where I just need to make a new sound effect or find a new sound effect. These are all like footsteps and then lots of whooshes. Lots of whooshes. I think at one point, yeah, I'm like looking for a scratching sound effect for them to like scratch their eyes, and the program that popped up really quickly was Audacity. I use Audacity to edit all my sounds so that they are the right length, or you know, if they need to be more high pitched, lower pitched. If I get something from the internet and it's like a lot of sounds and I just need to crop one out of them. I think I opened Minecraft so I could figure out what sound TNT makes when you place it down. Found out it was like the grass sound, so I used that. What is that? Whooshes? Oh, these are the whooshes for when he goes berserk. It was kind of hard to find that. Oh yeah, and then the rabbit sound. I didn't know how to find that, so it took a while, but rabbits do make a sound, apparently. Probably that was like a clank sound. Oh, here we are in Premiere Pro, where I add the flashbacks. It's a lot easier to do that in Premiere. And I added some like hazy, what's it called, like white, I think, at some point. Or maybe, yeah, there it is, the white. And then I also add some echo sound to it. And looks like that's it. So that wasn't too bad. Yeah, if you guys are interested in, you know, learning about how to animate kind of Minecraft style, or even just animating in general, just like leave a comment for what you want me to kind of talk about or make a video about. So hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.